Welcome, everybody. Again, we are here for another episode. We got Phil Diamond in building, got myself, Dwyght Mack of Mack's Moving Training, and we're about to get started today. Cliff, he might be running a little late. He might be busy today, but we're gonna get started. Um, so Phil, what is going on? I know we missed you last week.
Yeah, man. Dealing with personal stuff. Family member down. So, um, you know,
Gotcha,
you know,
gotcha. I
yeah,
know that you were going through a lot with with the company as well, with people and your normal stuff. People don't like to show up to work.
yeah, man.
So,
You know,
but
everybody needs money, but everybody don't like to show up for work.
ain't that the truth? And I,
You
and I,
know,
and I can swear that like in the winter months, you get people there when you don't have to work, or when you got to work. In the summer months, people don't know how to show up.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly, bro. It's funny, man. Me and Melissa were just talking about that yesterday. I'm like, it's funny that in the summer. You got all these guys. Oh, they got to do this. They got this going on. This. Everybody's got something going on in the winter month. Everybody looking at you like, so. I mean, I can work. I can work 24 hours if you need me to.
Right. They put on the application, yeah, I need like 50, 60 hours. You know it's winter, right?
Yeah, right.
I know
Right.
you've been in the moving industry before. You told me you was.
Right. Right this time of the year, man, I'm trying to take advantage of a lot of the guys that is um calling around looking for work, bro. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Because the phones do pick up with people out surfing for jobs. So it's a good opportunity for you to, grab some good movers during this time.
Yeah, they
Um,
tell you usually to grab your movers around this time of the year, anyways, because before by May, everybody's like it's slim pickings. At that point, you get what you get.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, we had a guy come in the other day, man. Literally, he didn't speak no English, boy. He had all the credentials needed. He had a driver's license, a CDL. He had everything. He just didn't have no English,
Mm-mm.
and he
Well,
had the experience.
Oscar started his mess already, talking about, yeah, you was busy setting up those Christmas lights last week.
Yeah, I know, boy.
But
My wife wanted me to go on top of the house. I said, how about I just pay somebody to do that?
you got to delegate nowadays. We was watching that Christmas movie where the Santa Claus, I guess I forget his name, or what the name of the movie was, but the Santa Claus slips off the roof and then the guy has to take Santa Claus' place.
Oh yeah, yeah, man.
Yeah, he's
It's
like,
always fun, man. It's a tradition, man, of ours, man, to do it as a family, and it kind of brings a bond, man. I was thinking about it. I was going to hire a company, man. I had called around and got a couple quotes, and I'm like, shoot, this is the way to do it here. Then I got to thinking
mhm.
about it, like, man, that's our time to kind of connect there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. A lot of these moving company owners are definitely doing like toy drives around this time. I know Rob from Zipbox Moving and then the Swamp Rabbit owner is also, involved with like a lot of charities around this time of year, helping kids and stuff with toy donations and stuff. So I don't know. Whatever people can get into around this time of year be helpful. Are you doing anything in-house for you guys?
Yeah, we always have a little Christmas party, man. Pass out a few dollars, and that's just kind of how it is.
Okay, okay. Yeah, no, I think what'll be cool is doing like a ball, like one of the chambers of commerce in Florida, they were doing it. They did like a gala, and basically they invite people to like a casino, but it's like a dance type of hall as well. And basically it was like a black and white type of gala or whatever the case is. And I think, even though we're in a industry where people come as they come, I think we could still bring that sense of professionalism to it where you're like, hey, let's have a gala, bring your spouse, come out, make it seem like, something, I don't know. I've always thought bigger than the industry. I didn't never think like, okay, well, hey, because we are where we are, we have to act on this level.
Right.
But no, any do you do any end of the year achievements or like I know around this time of year we start getting the raises in order for people that deserve a raise.
Deducting money.
Yeah.
We used to do there's a parade here, man, that goes through through town, man. It's the Pinellas Park Parade. We've done it several years, man. This year we decided not to do it. Just because of I don't do well with crowds, man.
Mm-hmm.
I get a little anxiety and get a little anxious, man. So we like to try to be involved with the company as much as possible. We even went through the process of, oh, you know what, just let the guys do it, And then I'm like, you know what? It's on a Saturday and it's in the middle of the day. That means we're gonna have to shut down operation. And that's not cool right now. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're back running 7 days a week again, just to fill in the gaps, to try to fill in the gaps. But yeah, me and my family though, we give back, kind of under the radar. Not, no announcements made, to give back sometimes, man, is the best gift and your best, blessing that you return from it. In my opinion, I get it. It's a tax write-off and things like that, but sometimes it's giving back, man, with no word said.
Yeah. No,
You
yeah,
know,
I wouldn't even consider it a tax write-off. You just give back to give back. Like we were like I said, we try to do some type of donations. Toys for Tots never really worked. We tried to do Move for Hunger, but I feel like asking people for cans and seeing if they wanted to donate before their moves, that was always a challenge, especially with my guys collecting stuff. You know, but you keep trying to find that thing that works. In the winter, I think several years back, they had like what did you call it? Like so they call it Aframs in Albany, where basically it's like a recreational facility that's in a balloon type of environment. Somewhat like how you play pickleball, but like in an actual balloon covering type of a building. And they were creating a building like that in our area, and basically they was asking for volunteers to come out to do it and help them get the balloon up and running. So basically, they was paying like I think like $10 an hour, or whatever the case is, for volunteering. So one day, like I said, we didn't have no work going on. So I asked my guys, "Hey, you guys want to make some money today? The longer you stay out there, the more they'll pay you. Even though it's cold as hell. We talking about like and Phil, Phil's terms, it's like 20 to 15 degrees out there. Phil is like, I ain't going out there. But yeah, it was brick cold out there, but we stayed out there for about 5 hours, and then I was just like, you know what, it's time to go. But here in New York, they actually, I think they still do it in New York City, where they pay you to volunteer to shovel snow. And basically the whole city comes together and people are just shoveling snow for the day. And they basically pay you like $10 to $12 an hour for as long as you're out there shoveling snow. You asked me if I ever went out there and shoveled snow. But hey, it's those things. We offer snow removal as a service. I think we only had one client one time where we had to go shovel his driveway, make sure his driveway was clear enough for him to drive his car in or back his car out. It was okay. I didn't like the last minute part of it because finding people last minute is hard, just like it is trying to find your movers when you get them 2 days notice.
you're right.
Right. So, but no, this is the perfect time. One of the things we were going over, one of the things I was going over just recently was preparing movers to start preparing for the end of the year closeouts. Whether it's, hey, making sure your books is up to date for tax time, Making sure that you have all your W-2 employees updated addresses so that basically when you get your W-2s next month, you can make sure that those are getting sent out to the right places and people ain't hassling you for that W-2. So just a whole bunch of closeout tasks. Starting your budget for next year. I know, Phil, you don't do the number things, but definitely starting your projection for next year will be crucial because hey, even if you are a $2, $3, $4 million company, you still want to be able to project, hey, next year this year we made 3 million. Next year we want to make 5 million. Well, hey, how are you going to get there? What type of marketing you need to get to that next 2 million?
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't think that way. They just like, you know what? We did a good year this year. We'll go into next year and we'll try to be better.
Yeah, that's true.
So
I've been taking some different approaches on marketing during this time of the year, man. Just kind of testing the waters with stuff.
okay.
Should have been doing it in the peak of the season, man. But whatever. Now is a good time to tell. And I'm not gonna really kind of go to discuss on kind of what I've been doing, but it's been working, man. I found some hidden gems, man, that I didn't know.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And that's the exciting part too. Like, man, and it's working so far. I can only imagine what it'll do when phones are blowing off the hook.
Yeah, and that's the thing. People can't be afraid to take the new opportunities. So there's a lot of marketing agencies popping up all over Facebook now for the moving companies, and
Oh yeah,
they're like, oh yeah, we're a marketing agency because they hear people saying, oh, we need more leads, we need more leads. But the thing that gets me about these marketing agencies are they just want to be SEO. Well,
mm-hmm.
or PPC. And it's just like, no, that's not what people are looking for when they're saying they're looking for leads. Like a lot of these people already have SEO,
Right.
So it's like,
they want something today.
Yeah.
Now results, not next year's results. Now.
So, I think that people need to focus on now, obviously, is either, I guess, most marketing, maybe the way they're thinking. I don't know. The way they're thinking is like, well, hey, we can either give you qualified leads, quote unquote, by having people go to your website and basically, they be qualified because they went through your website, or we could fall into the pool of being a third party lead provider. And I think maybe they feel like they're either in the two wheelhouses and they rather be on the side of SEO. So I guess more of them are gearing towards that side.
Yeah.
But
it's so many people, man. Now, man, like you said, man, in the SEO companies, lead providers. I mean, so many that just call and email. It's like, geez, man,
Mm-hmm. So no, it's definitely saturated. But my biggest belief when I started the movie company and everything like that, and I kept it going all these years as well, is that you need to always be looking for more and more lead providers. And granted, maybe moving.com might be horrible today or in your market forever. But then maybe movers might be good or quote runner might be good. So it's like give them a 90-day period. If they're horrible for 90 days, cut them. Try them again next year. If they're horrible next year, cut them for good. I don't know. That was their second chance. But I always want to think that hey, companies are always trying to upgrade their services. So even though they were horrible one time, maybe they may not be horrible in another year from now. Maybe they might have changed something about their system. So I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. But if, again, after like 3 months, if we got like 90 leads and maybe only closed on one of them, and we know that we were diligent with our sales process, okay, you know what? It's time to let them go. But always keep looking because there are so many companies out there. I think there's a company called EMS, CMS. There's a new company that just popped up on the radar called GoShare. And there's so many other marketing services out there. Now, you may not qualify for some of these services like EMS. I think they were like, I forget, I think it's Elite Movement Services. They were like, they want people to have skill sets in handling appliances or skill sets in crating. And that's the only type of movers they want to deal with. So, we never qualified because we never did crating or anything like that. But hey, I had a list of probably like 25 to 50 lead providers in my Rolodex that, hey, at any point in time we could sign up with. We had about 37,000 leads coming in per year. But, so I like to make sure that the phones kept ringing no matter what. And a lot of these people are just saying, oh, well, we'll use word of mouth or we'll use postcards or something like that.
That ain't gonna always work.
Yeah. So now people are starting to see in these tough times that word of mouth ain't doing what it's doing.
Well, the problem is now, man, I'm gonna tell you, man, I've been going through this process for the last, of course, here in Florida, it's not regulated.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure people break the rules in New York and California, wherever things is regulated as well. They just do what they want to do. But here, I mean, so I've seen this company yesterday advertising, and they advertise a lot, man. $100 an hour, right? For two movers, one truck. So I just, out of curiosity, killed the cat, right? I said, man, how is this guy getting away with this? You know what I mean? Small company. He's not out doing, I thought at first, well, maybe he's doing the moves and cutting corners, He's not doing any of the moves. So he's got, and he's pretty transparent on how he does his billing, man. You know what I mean? Where, here, your traditional hour plus an hour travel, within, 25, 30 miles, plus, maybe squeak some fuel out of that. So what he does is he kind of runs his operation like a tow truck company.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah. So pretty much his time starts wherever he's at. If he's at his hub or wherever he's at, and that time he goes and does the job. They go do the job, and then no matter how far it is, bro, it could be 10 miles down the road. So they navigate back to the hub, and that's when that time stops. So he charges extra. I don't know exactly how much, but he charges per step. He charges $50 for a king mattress bag. He charges $38 to use the TV box. I think it was $21 for wardrobe box rental. And he just made up the cost of charging that low rate. But people were so focused. I mean, I looked the guy up. I mean, he's got decent reviews because he's transparent on what he's charging.
That's a genius idea, too, truthfully. Like you mentioned, you kind of go low, but you realize that you're going to make that cost up in your materials.
Yeah, he's nickel and diming. So, of course, he's not going to move a TV without a TV box. And people are going to pay for that convenience.
Mm-hmm.
And what I've noticed is, I mean, we sell a mattress bag on every job, bro. I mean, I'm going to say
it's almost a guaranteed. You have to.
Yeah. Now it's like 9 3/4 out of 10. You're going to sell a mattress bag. And most people are not going to want you to, at the end of the day, they're not going to want you touching their mattress. I know I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more of a convenience thing. So I'm like, man, so I kind of did some rough numbers yesterday. And I'm like, well, off of, on an average, how far are you away from a customer on an average? 30 minutes. You know what I mean? 30, 45 minutes. So he's actually getting, an extra, in travels, he's getting about an extra hour and a half, which is another half hour times that 100, you know what I mean? So that's an extra $50, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then your traditional company's getting that's charging 1 hour for travel, right? Plus he's going at, I think it was 16% fuel surcharge at the end of the bill.
Nice. So
I did the rough numbers on it, dude. And I mean, he's charging roughly about $160 an hour. You know what I mean? When you bust it down, but you look at that, and a lot of these customers don't know. So what he's pitching is, oh, well, every moving company in the area charges from hub to hub, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they don't damn know. You know what I mean? They just hear that $100 an hour, and they're all over it. You know what I mean? And I think just him being transparent about how he's doing his billing. At the end of the day, man, it's like I was in the car business. At the end of the day, man, the bottom dollar is the bottom dollar, dude. No matter how you got to get there. You can twist numbers all around all you need to, but that bottom dollar is the bottom dollar. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. No, that makes a lot of sense.
I thought it. You know what? I had another talking to another moving company owner about it yesterday, and he's messing up the game, and I'm like, I'm not one to hate on somebody, dude, but and I don't really know the guy, know the company, but when I looked at their reviews, it's pretty decent. Several no shows a lot of times, but just normal stuff. I'm like, he's being transparent with customers. I mean, people see that hourly rate and they melt for it. Oh yeah, everybody else is at 140, 150. And I mean, he'll even lower that rate, man. Because I've seen some advertising that he had last year around this time, dude. He was down to like $90 an hour.
Yeah, no, you bring it down, but you're gonna charge more for other things.
Exactly, and that's just when we first started the business, man, we was giving away everything, bro. Mattress bags, TV boxes, and I mean, it's like, damn, we gotta buy this stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I realized was, so I got two, like I end up when we close shop or so like that, I end up having like maybe like 2 rolls of king mattress bags. So if anybody wanted, let me know. But we end up having like 2 rolls of king mattress bags left, and the local guys where I'm at were like, oh yeah, we don't really use the mattress bags. We use these reusable mattress covers.
Yeah, the tarp kind of deal.
Yeah. And those has worked very, very well for us. So we don't have to waste the expenditures of having to buy mattress bags all over, and we still charge the customers for these mattress reusable bags, reusable covers. So I thought that was pretty genius, but similar to like the sofa covers, nobody really wanted to deal with those because those brought a little bit of extra weight to the sofas. So people were just
right.
like, you know what? We'll traditionally wrap them, throw a couple of pads on them, some shrink wrap, and go about all day. Well, I was like, well, no, the covers they're supposed to fit like a glove. You throw a rubber band around them, and you're good to go.
Mm-hmm.
So
we've got a few of those things, man. That we've had some customers, man. To tell you something, people, especially people that's funny, dude. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, they don't
want germophobics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We had a girl. We've had several customers. They want a mattress bag on the mattress, and then they want a mattress box on a local move. I'm like, okay.
I thought about the mattress boxes, but the mattress boxes are just so stiff and no flexibility. If you need to get into a tight area, you're almost screwed.
Yeah. Well, you kind of have to and we've had several customers like that. We kept the mattress boxes to try to resell them again, or rent them or whatever we're going to do with them. But
they're good for storage.
Yeah. I mean, they're good for like packing, man, because I mean it's square. You know what I mean? At that point, you're loading. But some people are just funny about their stuff, man. But going back to what I was saying, I kind of got sidetracked. So. What we've been noticing, man, what's been going on, and I'm quite sure a lot of guys is like, it makes you feel like you're charging too much, right? We've lost so many estimates this month and the customer just don't even say how much higher we was. I mean, we've already lowered. I mean, we had a customer, dude, literally, we was giving packing supplies at cost. We lowered all the rates. I mean, it was a decent sized job.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, it was about 25,000 pounds, right?
Mm-hmm.
We lowered everything, man. I mean, supplies at cost. I mean, I'm talking about 80 cents for a small box kind of deal. You know what I mean? Like I'm like literally giving it at a, yeah, man.
And that's wholesale price. That's not even retail price.
Exactly. And then I had some used boxes, so I didn't even put them on the estimate. I was just going to give them away. Just to take, you know what I mean? Because we had already charged somebody for them. I'm like, okay, perfect opportunity. And then the lady had about 30 wardrobe boxes. Didn't even charge her rentals for them, bro. Nothing. You know what I mean? Because we were just going to get them right back. And I'm like, man. So we sent the quote, man. And lady said, oh, we already signed the contract. You guys were way over, way out in left field. And I'm like, man, how? You know what I mean? And I mean, dude, and we went through this estimate, bro. We typed, and it was a good job, bro. Some things that needed to be crated. We have a pre crate here. It's probably 8 feet by 5.
Mm-hmm.
And this lady had really nice clocks on the wall, like wall clocks. So I pitched that, dude. I'm like, hey, we won't charge you for this. We'll put all your clocks in here, that way they're extra protected, yada, 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 for free.
Mm-hmm.
Still nothing, man. I'm like, man, and we're pitching value, dude, and I'm starting to feel like, man, it ain't about the value no more, man.
No, so I think what it is, you gotta see how your local competitors are pricing out. And I think when I was in Florida, the way they did it was they charged a 2-hour minimum or 3-hour minimum to get in the door. They never told how maybe I don't know how you're doing now, but they never told people full transparency, hey, your job will take 7 hours. Because if we say, hey, your job is going to take 7 hours, it's going to cost you $1,400, hypothetically speaking. They may say, oh, well, John down the street told me it was, he could send me 2 guys for approximately 3 hours for $500. You're charging way too much. But he's just charging you to get in the door. You're going to still pay $1,400-$1,500 when it's all said and done.
What's funny, Dwyght? Man, you hit that right on the head. So we had a customer the other day call, and I answered the phone. I talked to this young lady, man, for probably 45 minutes, man. Her daughter's going through a divorce, yada, yada, yada. I told Melissa, I said, that's sold there. Boom. I mean, you can go ahead and just mark on the schedule. So I called the next day and she's like, oh, we went with a cheaper moving company. You guys are charging too much. And literally hung up the phone on me. Dude, 9 o'clock. So I put in the notes, customer wanted a 5-hour job completed in 2 hours. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Freaking 9:30 at night. Guess who calls?
That customer, the mover's bail.
The daughter. The daughter called.
Oh.
Yeah. And then I'm like, are you a customer of ours? She said, no, but I think my mom called. And I'm like, well, what's your mom's name? And I heard the phone got silent, like she didn't want to say it. You know what I mean? And I'm like, so her mom was handling this at first. She was ashamed, dude. So I'm like, oh, okay. What happened? Well, the company didn't show up, and I've got to be out of here tomorrow. And I'm like, okay. What was the name of the company? And she said, well, my mom picked them up, but I don't think it was a company. I'm like, that's your own damn fault.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing. Like, we're not gonna act like you didn't say 9 o'clock at night that you answering your phones.
Oh yeah, 9:30, bro. 9:30 at night, bro. I'm like, man, during this time of the year, man, got a lot of guys, man, that's trying to eat, man. So, I mean, hell, I'm even answering the phone some now.
Yeah, no, when we first started, we did nothing but night moves, and I think we would have our lines open until about 10 p.m. at night. So as soon as we get off of our normal day job, we would just be like, all right, well, we're gonna do sales calls up to about 9 o'clock, because anybody trying to be answering their phones at 10 o'clock to make no sales. But no, you got to do what you got to do. Have you thought about a virtual sales rep that can handle your calls after hours?
If it was busy enough for that, bro, that would be definitely a thing. Right now, it's just not enough. It's not enough to bring in anyone.
Well, there are some agencies, but now it depends. If you're selling somebody and you're like, well, hey, you know what? At 9:30, let me sell this move. Then okay, but there are some really, really cheap agencies that probably won't even cost you that much at all to just be like an answering service. Oh, okay. Well, hey, you're interested in booking a move. Okay, let me take down your information, like almost like a lead. Let me take down your information, and then basically I'll have somebody call you during normal business hours. And they could probably insert that person into your lead bank. And then basically, when you come in the morning, hey, you got another lead waiting for you. And I think, like I said, just because it's an answering service, like an auto attendant, it'll probably cost you like way less than $100 to keep that service going.
Right.
Because you definitely don't want to be missing out on leads. And obviously everybody act like they can't go to a website and put in a lead request. But Other than that, like, yeah, like I would say, everybody just focus on, closing out your year strong. See where you went wrong this year, or where you fell short. If you didn't have enough guys during the season, obviously this season was a different season. So if you didn't have enough guys, focus on making sure you do have enough guys, get with a recruiting company if you haven't spoken to Winston at Move a Consultant. They can definitely help you with your recruiting needs. Um, if you need help with sales to ramp up your sales, there's call centers out there like Move Sales Professionals or On Q or Move Bees. There's tons of sales companies that could definitely help you out if you need help in that area. So don't be afraid to outsource if you need to outsource in the meantime while you're growing your company, or hey, if you're already up there and you're established, but you can't afford to pay sales commissions because it's just weird of a year, definitely look to outsource, in the meantime. Um, I know that like some of these CRMs are now doing like call centers as well. I know Move It Pro was doing a call center. I don't know if there's any other CRMs doing it like that. Actually, did you hear about Drive Sales, Phil?
No. Mm-mm.
So
What is that?
Drive Sales is a new CRM company that's trying to make some headway in the industry as well. And they're trying to look to incorporate a lot of the AI stuff into their CRM. Now, I don't know what that exactly looks like when it comes to the whole AI stuff, because automation and AI is kind of, to me, one of the
Yeah.
same.
Yeah.
But basically, they have a call center as well included in their CRM. And I think that's the wave where a lot of these CRMs are now trying to add that as an actual package to selling, where it's like, well, hey, let us handle your sales. Let us make sure that your calls are coming in while you focus on operations. But I think for the movement owners, they need to get to that point of being able to fire themselves out of every position anyways, and basically focus on business development versus being on a truck. And I feel like when you focus more on operations, you're like, well, hey, if they're making sales, I'm going to be on the truck. And that's the wrong mindset I feel like to have. But
Yeah.
But I know Phil, he don't like to leave customers behind. He want to be on that truck.
Heck yeah, I gotta get them customers, bro. No, you know what, dude? The older I get, though, the white man, the more honorary I'm getting,
Yeah.
and stuff. Starting to get really. Last week I had to go on a job, man. With one of my guys has been with me for a while. It was of course, I'm not going on a 2-man job. Of course not. I'm going on a 3-4-man job. That way I can micro. You take that. No, I'm a dude, man. At the end of the day, man, if I go do something, dude, I want to. It's my nature. I want to do the hardest thing in the world. Whatever the heaviest thing in that house is, I want to carry it. I don't care who's there. That's just me. But one of my guys, man, I don't know. I was telling you about what he did with the wrapping the legs up with white paper, and then took his hand and then picked it up, and the white paper tore off. And I'm like, he told the other guy came and told me, he said, "Hey Phil, Junior said he don't like working around you." The customer, man, I get in work mode, bro. So the customer was feeling like I was being funny. She told one of the guys that, that guy was a little different during the estimate. He was like nice and stuff. He's kind of like grumpy. And Josh said, "No, he's not grumpy. He's just working." So I got finished with the job. I was like, "Hey, how you guys doing?" Like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, just working. Like I'm here to work. That's why I came here. Because I don't need you talking about, well, you charged me for 3 people and only 2 of them was working and you was talking. If I'm here, you finna pay for that." I already know your game.
Shoot. Hold up. And they might know that you are owner or something if you did the in-home estimate, so they may not want to tip you.
Exactly. They already knew it. Lady did. Really nice people, man. But I told her, I said, "Man, I'm gonna be honest with you. I could talk to you for 3 days straight. No hiccups. But you're on the clock, you're getting bailed by the hour, and I'm not here to, burn up your clock talking. You know what I mean? We have a job to do, and think that was the day I had pickleball, so I'm definitely trying to get gone. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Not trying to sit here and burn up, an extra hour or two for nothing.
Yeah, I had a really great friend that used to work for me, and he went on a job one day, and at this point, I didn't really have like any designated leads. It was like, hey, you know what? Everybody, one person choose who's going to be in charge or whatever the case is. I didn't really have no structure, but it worked. And they went on a job one day, and I was like, oh, this job should be done in about 4 hours. And the job was taking longer than 4 hours. And I was like, what the hell is going on? So I called him, and pretty much my guy was like, yeah, the customer, he wants to talk. What the hell? I'm like, nah, y'all got a job to do. Get out of there and get done. And he's like, no, the customer says he understands that, obviously we have a job to do, but he just wants to chat, and he's willing to pay for us to sit down and chat with him.
Oh boy.
I said, what the hell? So
Next thing you know, you're gonna tell them to take off their clothes. Sit down and take off your clothes.
So my guy actually sat out there, and he was very intellectual. So he had an actual conversation with the guy, and they talked for like 3 hours, and the move was well over. But they talked for like 3 hours. So that job ended up being like 7, 8 hours. And the customer paid for it. Like, yeah, I'll pay for it. Great conversation. Here's the tip. And I was like, what the hell?
That sounds like some old John stuff. Prostitute, they get a John, they call him a John. The prostitutes call him a John. The John just want to sit there and talk, and John. All right, young man, sit down over there. You mind taking off your shirt? I'm just gonna take off my pants and get a little comfortable here.
But so I mentioned don't use OnQ. I had to use them, and it was the worst 20% booking rate in the summer busy season. I had them for 6 months. Well, yeah, they are a call center. So, and then Troy said, "What do you think about Rotate Digital? Any thoughts?" So obviously Rotate Digital, we had them for I believe like 2 years or so, and they do what's expected. They perform as an SEO's company is supposed to perform. We were ranking #1 in our area, and the phones always kept ringing. It's all about how you monitor your leads. Are you tracking your website leads? Are you putting a cap on how much per website lead is costing you? So hypothetically speaking, we would say, well, hey, we expect that we want 20 website or 30 website leads this month. And we would put a cap on it and saying, well, hey, we have to pay, say, $2,000 a month. What is, that 20 or 30 leads divided by 2,000? Maybe it's $150 a lead. So now we start to realize, well, hey, are we getting our value for that website lead? And same thing with your PPC. You have to measure how many leads you expect out of that $2,000, $4,000 PPC budget that you have, and figure out your price per lead. If you don't figure out a price per lead and you're going in blind and hoping that it's showing results, you're doomed for failure. But basically try everything, with SEO and any SEO company, if they're doing everything right, they'll tell you that basically SEO should be your very, very last marketing tool, because basically it's one of the things that take the longest, and it's a long game. So exhaust all your marketing first with trying to figure out, hey, did I go with every lead provider that I could go with? Then after you go with every lead provider and you got constant leads coming in regularly, then you go with SEO. And SEO is just like, oh, well, hey, you already got 200 leads coming in a month. We're going to add an extra 20 or 30 on top of that. And if you don't get it, okay, you still got 200 leads coming in.
Yeah.
So I hope that kind of answers your question, Troy. But yeah, so I can't talk too bad about people because this goes public. So I was going to talk about one of those darn lead providers that you were using before, Phil. But I was like, you know what? I ain't gonna talk about those people.
Oh, let's talk about them. I mean, let's talk about it. Shit. And yeah, I mean, there's man. It's hard, man, because you don't really know if they're actually some of these lead providers, if they're like not charging you like per lead. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And you're just paying for like pay per click or whatever. They're saying, okay, it's hard to determine if they're even doing anything. You know what I mean? Because we had a lead provider, dude. I mean, we turned it off. I mean, just kept they would go in remotely and turn it back on because they knew that they could drive calls to you that way. So it was piano moving and only piano moving only. Like we don't move pianos only. And guess what? We turn it off and go back in the settings. Guess what? It was mysteriously turned back on. Oh, well, somebody else in your organization may have turned it on. Sir, I'm the only one that's logging in. I'm not dumb. And dude, they would do it. And then guess what they would put in a keyword? This is another one. Cheap movers. You would take it out, they would go back and put it back in. Because they couldn't drive any customers. I mean, of course you're gonna drive customers. You're gonna have your phone blowing off the hook if you're one of your keywords is cheap movers. You know what I mean? And I mean, guess what the other one was? Dirt cheap movers.
What the hell?
Yeah, you know that's some cheap shit. Yeah, like $4 an hour shit. Dirt cheap movers. Like what the hell? How you gonna have that? Did somebody Google that shit? Really dirt cheap movers. Like
who used that as a keyword? That's crazy.
Right. It was there. And they're like, oh, maybe someone in your organization put that. Man, I ain't even never used the word dirt cheap, man.
Well, I know people got mixed feelings about home advisors and Yelp. Home advisors, very expensive. But
don't talk about Yelp.
Now, home advisors is very expensive, but sometimes you do get your value out of them. They definitely send you leads. I would regulate your budget with them. First try it out at like about $600 to $800 if you can afford that per month. And I think we capped off at about $1,000 a month. And depending on the time of year, they actually hit that milestone. But my biggest thing is the higher you go with your budget, I feel like the higher they like to charge because their lead value range is so wide. Oh, well, we'll charge between $18 and $39 for a moving lead. And there's no rhyme or rhythm whether why this lead is $39 and this lead is $18.
Bank account was low. Like shit, let me get him 39 over here. 39 over here.
So you definitely got to make sure that you're definitely requesting your lead credits ASAP. So what we used to do is we had a Google form that the sales reps would have available to, and anytime they got a bad lead, they would fill out the Google form with the bad lead, the lead provider, the reason for why it's bad, and we would only put the reason why most lead providers would credit you back, such as bad phone number or some type of error that the lead providers would credit you back for. So basically, we knew that when we went into that lead provider, whether it was moving.com or anybody, we could just select that option and hope that they give us credit back for that lead. But that was one way we did it. And we used to get a lot of, like I said, we'd get a lot of lead credit requests from our sales team. And we would basically put it in like once a week, maybe on a Monday. We'll have the sales manager or whoever was in charge go into the system of every lead provider and basically request the credits for those leads. So that basically we stood on top of our marketing budget. Because, hey, we could spend $10,000 a month on marketing easily and not get the return because we have so many bad leads.
Oh yeah. That's definitely a thing.
So if you're using Google Suites right now with your like Gmail or whatever the case is, you could go into Google Drive, create a Google form, and basically make sure that basically you're staying on top of these, like I said, lead credits. Because if you ain't, nobody else is. The lead.
Oh yeah, they definitely ain't. No, they definitely ain't.
Like
That's what we got.
we had to get moving.
That's why it's important to ask where that lead came from. I mean, it's hard because a lot of people say online search. So when we hear people say online search and they say, they said that you were one of the top 5 movers in, Largo or Pinellas Park or whatever the case may be, automatically they went to Yelp. You know what I mean? Because that's what they advertise, top 5 movers in the area. And we know that's one of the platforms that we're on, and we know that they heavily, they spend a lot of money in SEO, dude, to be on that top, boy.
Yeah, one of the mentors used to ask us to, hey, we need to probe these customers when we talk to them and say, hey, where'd you find us? And they'd be like, oh, we found you on Google. And then like, kind of where on Google? And I've always been like, shit, I don't want to keep pestering them. I'm like, shit, they said they found us. All right.
Right.
Like that's not the main reason here.
And maybe once you build a little bit of rapport with the customer, maybe you can go back to that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So, my sales tactic, man, I'm not going to call it a tactic. It ain't a sales tactic. So my sales has always been, I build rapport first. So I've been answering the phone a little bit more just out of being pure bored. I like interacting with people, man, sometimes, and sometimes I just don't. But you build a rapport with that customer. I talk about everything except moving. First, you know what I mean? I had a customer, Melissa, took off yesterday and had to go pick up Caden early. So I was answering the phone, boy, and I took off and get ready to go to the house, and somebody called, so I pulled over. I talked to this guy when I heard packing, moving, and storage, I pulled over the truck. I talked to that guy, dude, for 1 hour and 1 minute. And I got the address, the first portion. Of course, while I'm on the phone with him, I already done typed up the address. Oh, that's a $2 million house. Oh, let's talk. What you want to talk about, man? What's going on with your dog? You know what I mean? He's getting ready to go out of the country. He's like, yeah, you guys, and that we just built a relationship, bro. I talked about everything. I mean, you're talking about, $3,000 or $4,000 local job. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Plus a year of storage. I need that. That 1 year of storage, I need that. Let's talk. Mm-hmm. We're going to talk about, huh? How your mama them doing? You know what I mean? How y'all doing? How your mammy doing? Before the end of the call, man, the guy was like, hey, man, you know what, Phil? I'm not even going to call nobody else. I had already ran through somewhat of hourly rates with him because it's local and he's literally right around the corner. He's like, yeah, oh, yeah, Phil, I've seen you guys, trucks running around town, yada, yada, yada. You guys got a great reputation. He's like, I'm not even going to call anybody else, Phil. Just come by tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Take a look at everything and let me know. He's like, we got some boxes in the garage, but they're probably trash, yada, yada, yada. And let's just do the job. Boom. I spent some time, buddy.
No, you got to. You got to build that. You got to build that rapport.
Now, you can't do that in the peak of the season when that phone's blowing off the hook. You know what I mean? Unless you got, multiple. Yeah, well, if you got multiple lines and multiple people answering the phone, I mean, like me and Melissa have to come somewhat kind of combine in the peak and then bring in someone else too to start answering. But if I hear those good jobs, especially now with storage, man, because we're trying to get this building filled up. Oh man, let me caress your back. Let me rub your back.
But you know what? That makes sense. You definitely want to.
I'm not blowing no smoke though. You know what I mean? I'm telling them exactly what we're gonna do. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, man, that's why I reframe that from a sales tactic. I don't like the word tactic, when it comes to sales because it just sounds grimy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you'll tell, because some salespeople, man, will tell a customer anything. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, I go to church every day. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, you definitely want to spend the right time with the customers. Quality. Treat every lead as if they're your only lead. Because that's the one thing. If you're rushing off the phone because the lead volume is coming in and the phones are ringing like that, hey, you don't know if this customer is that gold mine, and then you rush to get off the phone for a customer that don't want to go with you because they want to be cheap. So, definitely, I would say hey, you know what, like I said, my old sales manager used to get mad as hell at me because I was on the phone for like 45 minutes with one customer, and it was just like, hey, you know what, if they want to talk, hey, I'll talk with them because you know what? If you don't spend that time with them, you only spend 5 minutes with them. They're gonna spend that 45 or that other 40 minutes with somebody. Might as well be you, because then now after that 45 minutes, they might not want to have that same conversation with somebody else.
Right.
So, definitely. And then, going out there still doing on sites is definitely still a thing. I know that the new era is virtual on sites, which is good for the younger folks. But for the older folks or so like that still want a personal body in a house to look at their stuff, talk to them, you still want to have those presentation folders. And I don't know if you use a presentation folder per se, Phil.
I don't personally. No, I just kind of go with the flow, whatever's, kind of on my mind. I do all the, me and Melissa do all the in-home estimates. So that's getting ready to change here shortly. So, we've got somewhat of a little bit of a script now, which we didn't because we're both the owners. So we just kind of say what we want to say. You know what I mean? But that ain't the way to be because we can't train anybody like that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it's our own damn fault when we bring in people why they cannot learn what we're doing because we're just spitting out some stuff and walking away. And I'm notorious for it, dude. I got ADHD. You know what I mean? Like, I literally will talk to you in the middle of a conversation and walk away. And like, damn, this dude didn't even finish talking. Like, yeah, I know. Goodbye. Talk to you tomorrow. Text me. Call me. Page me.
So but, you be in their house showing them how you're going to wrap their sofa by shrink wrapping it?
Man, the ADHD kick in, bro. Sometimes it's hard for me to even sit on this podcast, dude. I'm like getting antsy, dude. I'm like, oh man, But I think a lot of us struggle with that ADHD, man. I see it in a lot of owners, man. Not just the moving industry, just owners in general. Mm-hmm. ADHD, because you got to be able to bounce around, dude. You know what I mean? The people that's kind of not saying, but you got to be able to multitask, dude. And that's somewhat of ADHD, ain't it? Yeah. Some form.
Yeah. No, you gotta multitask, but you gotta multitask within purpose. Like, obviously, there might be something like, oh, okay, I'm working on this project or whatever the case is, and then I'm like, oh, something popped up in my head, and you got to hone your energy back to that task. Because if you allow your brain to just keep wandering on you while you're doing a task, you're never going to get done with that task. And you have like 5 tasks open at one time, trying to like, oh, got to get all these done,
Yeah, that's me today.
So, definitely time management. Write your tasks down for the day. And then basically say, well, hey, you know what? At 9 o'clock, I'm going to work on this task. 10 o'clock, I'm going to work on this task. Granted, 11 o'clock, somebody calls me and I was supposed to be working on this task. And they call me and they need me to go in the field to bring out shrink wrap or whatever the case is because they forgot it or they ran out. So it's kind of like, at least if you wrote it down, that it's still got to get done when it gets done.
Yeah. My thing, man, with I got a lot of people that I talk to during the day. So people just call me randomly. And I call people random. You already know.
Yeah.
Call it's just random, just random time. Clifford always like, Phil, what's up? Like that, but yeah, he just called me randomly too. So it's unfortunately, it's kind of I believe when you got a good friend, man, you shouldn't have to make an appointment with your friend, man. You know what I mean? Like if we friends, why I gotta make an appointment with you, man? Let me call you. You can tell me you busy.
Hold on, let me put you on my calendar. You want to talk at 1 o'clock today, Phil?
Which one? Oh, sorry.
No, you good.
Melissa just told me she just booked a good job.
Oh, it's not. Okay. It is only 8:55 too. Y'all starting early. I hear y'all.
Man, shoot, boy. I'm telling you, boy, the crunch is getting real, brother. I'm telling you, man. And it's so our numbers are so down from last year during this time, dude, and we're heavily marketing, bro. And everybody's numbers are tanking, bro. It's bad, bro. The economy's bad, bro. People are getting really tight, man. Mm-hmm. And we discussed this several months ago. We've been discussing this all year. And I know a lot of moving company guys, man, their egos will not allow them to say that their numbers are getting bad. But I don't give a damn what the hell they at. Them numbers getting bad, bro. If your ass is just moving furniture, your numbers, man, I don't care what you're doing. You
I
know what I
think
mean?
I think it's going to level off at some point.
Oh yeah, it
But
will. It will.
but obviously people are not they're not concerned about the moving industry. I feel
No, no.
like.
Well, I get it. Some guys got multiple businesses, but there's a guy around the corner, man. I see him advertising all the time, talking about, oh, all of our 10 trucks are out every day. Like, I drive by that place every day, bro, and maybe a truck is gone. Like, I don't know what other truck. You ain't got no other trucks. His trucks are really on like on the front street like ours, bro. Like, and he's like, oh yeah, we were busy all the time. All 10 of our trucks go out minimally 5 days a week. And then one of my employees live across the street from me. He's like, dude, them trucks don't never damn leave. Like, what, you know what I mean? Like, quit flexing, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Don't flex. Because flexing, the only thing that's going to do is hurt your pocket even more. You know what I mean?
And we know Phil doing
Because,
his research.
yeah, bro, because at the end of the day, man, you cripple yourself by bullshitting yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what, dude? I'm guilty of that as well. We're guys, bro. We do that shit, bro. We make ourselves sometimes seem like we're doing a lot more than what we really are. And at the end of the day, man, you can make yourself start believing that shit.
Yeah.
That you're doing a lot better than you really are. And then you start slacking, right? And next thing you know, your shit is, everything's bad. You know what I mean? But I just couldn't understand, like, man, why this guy, and I know that's how many trucks he got. I mean, I done been over there, shook his hand. Oh, yeah, these are fleet trucks, yada, yada, yada. And you're like, damn, dude, you maybe have a truck leaving out of this thing every now and again. And hold on, four of these 10 trucks don't even run. One of them ain't even got no damn tire on it. Hey, Dwyght, one ain't got no tire. One ain't even got a damn hood on it. And one of them have a half a box.
Oh, wow. How you get a half box?
Hey, the freaking about to tore it apart. Right, I got to share something with you real quick before we go, though. I had to part ways with my very first truck yesterday, man.
Oh, yeah.
That was heartbreaking for me, bro.
Well,
Yeah,
you end up selling it, or how'd you get?
no, we just had to. No, but it wasn't worth it. It ran, bro. But that truck, man, I mean, it's been sitting for 3 years, bro.
Oh,
I go out there and turn it up, and it's just in the damn way. And we had it literally out in the front, bro. And it was an eyesore, dude. The sun and beat it to death. And it just didn't look good, bro. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
For a customer to be riding by. And I seen a couple of weeks ago, a customer came by and I seen kind of how they looked at that truck when they walked by it. And it just looked nasty. And, they probably was thinking like, man, are they going to put my stuff in that truck? But it broke my heart, man. But I had to get rid of it, dude, because we just, we keep paying for it to sit, man. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Man. And we freed up a parking space. So of course, hey, let's buy another truck.
Well, you could have took it off the road and just let it just sit there. And
no, it's been off the road. It's been off the road for years.
So why were you paying for it?
No, because it's been paying for parking right there.
Oh, yeah. Parking is a thing.
Yeah, right. Because we're on a main road, dude. So, and we kept having to crank it up and move it and all kind of stuff. I'm like, man, it's more of a pain in the ass, dude. And I drew a mental attachment to that truck, bro. They gave me my first $1, bro, but I had to let go.
Well, hey, the money, if you made any money off it, you put that money away, frame it.
bro, I paid $2,300 for that truck. $2,300. I think that first weekend I made $2,000 out of that truck. This was the very first truck that we bought, man. It meant a lot to me, bro. That truck ran, and I didn't do no maintenance on it ever, bro. Ever. It just drove.
Yeah, you gotta get a toy. You gotta get a toy model of it and just put it in your office.
I am. Yeah, I mean it's one of those things, man. Of we had to let go, man. It just was an eyesore, man, to be out front too. You know what I mean? Like I was saying.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
all right. Well, we are at the top of the hour. Normally Cliff takes us home, but Phil, you want to take us home today?
In the world of moving, where every box tells a story. Man, I can't. Anyway, I hope everybody have a good, positive week, rest of the week. Coming towards the end of the year. I know some northern states, man, it's really bad with snow and just gets really horrible, man. Kind of stick to your guns and find a positive side, spend some time with your family or whatever you need to do to keep yourself sane.
Exactly. And it's snowing right now up here in New York.
Gee.
But it's definitely one of those things where, this is the type of time of year where it definitely causes emotional depression with the slow season. We got 3 months of this, December, January, and February. So use this time wisely to just tighten up your systems, write out some policies for, hey, you know what, if you guys been showing up late, or sun isn't tight with your dispatcher isn't closing out properly, or hey, maybe you guys have been closing out the moves and you feel like they've been shortchanging you or whatever the case is. Whatever it is, there's no perfect moving company, and to say there is crazy. So
Yeah.
Definitely tighten up your operations as tight as it can be. Come up with some benefits or rewards to reward your guys when they do good. This is the type of time you want to keep your guys around, because you don't want to be hiring and firing around this time of year anyways, because you don't have the work to be hiring and firing anyways, because most people coming in, if they're new and they're coming into a 10 hours a week type of job, they're probably going to leave anyways. So the guys that you have, you need to find a way to keep. So, doing some type of events outside of just the moving jobs or some type of bonding is what you're going to want to do around this type of time. But we're definitely going to be taking off. So definitely enjoy your week. Definitely stay warm if you're up in the north. And if you're in the south, I despise you. But you take care. We'll see you next week. All right, y'all.
All right. See you later. Bye.